What's up, guys? It's Ben with 2020 election predictions, and today I'm going to do a combination of like a Senate and presidential video and look at which states I think have the potential to be split ticket states. In every presidential election before 2016, there were some states that went to a different party on the Senate level than on the presidential level. However, in 2016, it was the first presidential race where all the states that went to Trump went Republican on the Senate level, and all the states that went to Hillary Clinton went Democratic on the Senate level. This is a trend that is happening more and more, that people are just voting down ballot for a single party. And there's several reasons for this: increased polarization and just kind of ease of doing that, and just the type of candidates that are coming out of the primary on the Senate and presidential level. And so before I dive in, I just want to encourage y'all to please subscribe. I'm almost to 4,000 watch hours, which means I can start doing a lot more features like doing live videos and such. All right, so diving right in, I'm going to do the top 5 states. The fifth state that I think has the potential to vote split ballot is the state of Maine. So in Maine, we have a Senate race between Sarah Gideon and Susan Collins. Susan Collins has been in the Senate for, I think, 18 years at this point, so she's running for her 4th term. She's won by double digits every time. However, the polling right now in Real Clear Politics has her down by 4.5 points. And I've talked about this in the past, how like the Kavanaugh vote, her vote to confirm Kavanaugh to the Supreme Court was probably what did her in. And I think 10 years ago, or even 6 years ago in 2014, that she would be reelected. But our country, I mean, with Trump and with a lot of other reasons, our country has become increasingly more and more polarized. So in 2014, she won by double digits. In 2020, that's not going to be the case. Right now on the presidential level, I saw a poll that came out, I think yesterday, that had President Trump down 15 points to Joe Biden in the state of Maine. Although President Trump only lost Maine by 2 points to Hillary Clinton, I think that Joe Biden will increase his margin of victory in the state of Maine. So I do think it is possible that Susan Collins keep this seat. I mean, she's done it 3 times already, so she's very well known, but it's increasingly looking like the state is going to go to Sarah Gideon. However, Sarah Gideon has not gotten above 50% in the polls, just like Hillary Clinton 2016. So I don't want to rule Susan Collins out. I think out of all the states, this is the one state where I think Donald Trump could lose and a Republican senator could win. Next up, our number 4 state, I think, is Montana. So this is going the opposite way. I think there is the potential that Steve Bullock, the Democrat, could win, but I do think Donald Trump's going to win. I think in the last poll, Donald Trump was up by double digits. He cracked double digits. I mean, he won Montana by, I think, like almost 25 points in 2016. I expect Donald Trump to win between 15 and 20 points in 2020. I think that the Senate race is going to be fairly competitive. We have Steve Daines, the incumbent, versus Steve Bullock. And I mean, Steve Bullock, people in Montana split their vote in 2016. So Steve Bullock won re-election to the governor's seat, while Donald Trump won by 25 points. It was actually pretty startling. However, the Senate is different from the governor's seat. And although Montana elected a Democrat, re-elected a Democrat to the Senate in 2018, it was very, very close. John Tester barely won. The circumstances are a lot different. Steve Bullock is not the incumbent senator. Steve Daines is, and Steve Daines is pretty popular. And I think with President Trump on the ballot, it's not 2018, that I think that Steve Daines will not have too much trouble winning this seat. And the last poll had Steve Daines up by 4 points. I think Steve Daines could even extend this to maybe like 5 or 6 points when it comes down to Election Day. But increasingly, I want to look at the polls. So Maine and Montana, I think they're unlikely to split tickets, but it's still possible at this point. The third state that I think will be a split ticket state potentially could be the state of Iowa. Iowa went to President Trump in 2016 by about 9 or 10 points, and I expect that President Trump will win this again. This is one state where consistently Trump has been leading in the polls, even when Trump kind of hit rock bottom, I would say in late June, early July. I think the last poll out of Iowa had Trump up by 3 points and Joni Ernst up by 1 point. There have been some polls that has Joni Ernst down, but they're still within the margin of error. I do expect Joni Ernst to win, like in Montana. I think that Iowa is probably more likely to be split ticket voting than Montana. I think Joni Ernst has a less likely chance to win than Steve Daines. I think they're pretty comparable on the same level. And I mean, right now, I really don't expect any of these states to be split ticket voting. I expect Montana to remain Republican, Iowa to remain Republican, and Maine to remain Democrat on like the Senate and presidential level. And just for the sake of this, I'm just going to fill in all the states because I've said that like some of these are going to be split ticket. But I just want to fill in the other states that I think will definitely be either Republican or Democrat on the national level. And like some people might be like, oh, well, Texas could split ticket. Well, I think if Texas were to go Democratic on the presidential level, then it could go. And I just don't think Texas is going to go blue. And like in a state like Michigan, I expect that the Senate races will track pretty well to the presidential level. So that's why I don't have all these small states. So you can see right now it's like 47-47, and I'm forgetting the Senate race out in Georgia. All right, so the number 2 race where I think it could be a split ticket vote is the state of Arizona. So right now, I have pretty high confidence that Mark Kelly is going to win this race. I have it leaning towards him right now. And the polls reflect this too. However, on the presidential level, I still think this is a pure toss-up. Joe Biden is up in the polls right now, but a Democrat hasn't won in Arizona on the presidential level in years, in decades actually. So I think Joe Biden could do it. The demographics have changed in Arizona a lot with a lot of immigrants coming in, kind of changing the political landscape. There's a lot of new voter registrants that have been overwhelmingly Democratic. So definitely Arizona could go blue on the presidential level, and it went blue on the Senate level in 2018. Martha McSally got beat. And I really think she's going to get beat again because Mark Kelly, frankly, is a better candidate than Kristen Sinema was in 2018, and she still won as the Democratic challenger. I don't think Martha McSally will gain much from the incumbency advantage because she's only been in the Senate for about a year. But I could really see this being a split ticket voting. And if it's not a split ticket, it's going to be a Democratic state. And I don't think there's a ton of paths to the presidency that Donald Trump has without winning Arizona. All right, so the number 1 state that I think could be a split ticket is the state of North Carolina. In fact, right now I have North Carolina in my Senate and presidential predictions being a split ticket. Right now I have Arizona as well, but I have more confidence that North Carolina will be a split ticket state. And this might surprise some people because because there weren't any split ticket votes in 2016, and it's trending away from any voters being a split ticking. So right now, Donald Trump is outperforming Tom Tillis by I think like 3 to 4 points. I think Donald Trump's down by about 4 points in the state of North Carolina, but Tom Tillis is down by like 6 or 7 points to Cal Cunningham. I do think that both of these races will get closer come election day. I do think that Donald Trump's standing and Tom Tillis' standing will improve. But if we look at the historical numbers, and I think it's important to look at the historical numbers, not just the polling numbers. So in 2014, in a Republican wave year, Tom Tillis won the state of North Carolina by the skin of his teeth by just about 1 point. And I mean, this was in a midterm election with a Democratic president, Barack Obama. And I mean, like Republicans won at the Senate level in Colorado and Maine by bigger margins than Tom Tillis did in North Carolina. So this demonstrates that Tom Tillis was a weak candidate to begin with. And just looking at the approval ratings in the state of North Carolina, even among like hardcore Trump voters, Tom Tillis isn't super popular. There is about to be some Senate primary challengers to Tom Tillis, but they backed out at the last minute. Trump has endorsed Tom Tillis. However, there have been some times where Tillis hasn't necessarily been like the super Trump supporter that like a lot of the GOP base would expect of their senator. So I definitely expect Trump to outperform Tom Tillis. It'll be interesting to see by how much. And then, I mean, also looking at the historical numbers, and Trump in 2016 won North Carolina by 3.5 points. So that's a pretty significant margin. So like right there, you have a 2.5 point difference. They were definitely different years, but I think 2014 should have been a more like beneficial year to the Republicans. It should have been more favorable. So in 2020, they're both going to be on the ballot. Roy Cooper, the popular Democratic incumbent governor, is also going to be on the ballot. So if there's not a lot of split ticket voting, this is going to help the Democrats. And so far in the polling, it has. So we will see how it goes. Right now, if I had to predict, I would say that North Carolina is going to be the only split ticket state, and like 50-50 with Arizona. But right now, it's all up in the air. So please in the comments, let me know if you agree with like the premise of my video. And please give me ideas for future videos, and like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that bell notification if you haven't already. Thanks, guys.